warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sure.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
Okay, thank you. So today I want to meet you all directly because we have not met together for uh, for a long time, and Alhamdulillah, today we have time. I have a time so I can meet you directly. Okay, let me prepare the presentation. So today's meeting is about the training and development in human resource management, Islamic human resource management. Okay, I will open the slide. Okay, can you see what I share?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Can you see my face while I share my screen?
no, sir.
Oh, okay, okay. It's okay then. At least you can hear my voice. So today we will learn about the training and development. I have found a suitable slide for us to discuss today. The concept of training. Training is the process of teaching the new or present employees the basic skill they need to effectively perform their jobs. So the training is uh, can be done for the new employees and also the present employees or the old one. Alternatively speaking, training is the act of increasing the knowledge and skill of an employee. Why we need to increase the knowledge? Because everything is changing, right? Everything is changing, and the business is changing. And we are now facing pandemic changing. Thus, training refers to the teaching and learning activities carried on for the primary purpose of helping members of an organization, which is employees, to acquire and also to apply the required knowledge, skill, and attitude to perform their jobs effectively. So not only knowledge but also skill and attitude. The concept of development compared to the term training, the development has broader scope and aim to develop people in all respects. Development covers not only activities which improve job performance but also activities which bring about growth of the personality, progress toward maturity, and actualization of potentials. So it is different, right? So the training usually for short term, but development is a long term goal. Okay, let's continue. Definition: training is the act of increasing the knowledge and skill. Development: the systematic use of scientific and technical knowledge to meet specific objectives or
Excuse me, sir.
achievements. Yes, please.
Your share screen is not shown in my laptop.
Are you sure? What about the other? Can you see my screen? The other?
No, sir.
No. Okay, okay, okay. Let's try. Okay, let's start again. Okay, can you see now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Looks like the my I'm recording from the phone because the hotspot or Wi-Fi in my house is in trouble. Okay, next. Difference between training and development. What is learn? Who learns? Why such a learning takes place? And when? Okay. These differences can be stated as follows. What for training is technical and mechanical. For development is theoretical and conceptual. For example, the training of frontliner in syariah banking. That is commonly technical. How to meet the customer, how to uh, open the sheet to the saving for a new saving, for example. But development is more complex, theoretical and conceptual. For example, the let's say leadership. Leadership, a workshop of leadership, for example, or seminar of leadership. That is more conceptual. Who? Usually training for non-managerial or operative personnel. For development, usually for manager or supervisor. And why we must do training? Because there is specific job related purpose. But for development usually for general knowledge. When we do training, usually for short term, development is a long term goal. The role of training and development. Number one, increasing efficiency. I hope you are already understand what is the difference between efficiency and effectivity, right? If you do not yet, please find out. Number two, increase morale of employees. Usually, after a long time working, the old employees become lazier. Better human relation. Sometimes in the office, there are problems between people. So if usually we do training, we do, let's say, outbound training, for example, to have better relation. And the next, to reduce supervision. If the employees are all well motivated, there are less supervisor needed. Okay, but that's why we need training and development for personal growth. For personal growth. So we as a human resource management, we want our employees become a better person, right? Become a better person. That's why we doing training and development. But don't forget, the training and development is uh, costly. We need a lot of money to do that, especially if the training and development is held by another organization. I mean, not from internal company. Uh, Usually, we need cost. That is why the company usually make a agreement, making an agreement, or creating a, some kind of MOU, memory of what, uh, MOU or MOA, memorandum of understanding. Let's say, for example, if you have employee and you want to give them some training which is very expensive, you must make an appointment with them, and you say that after you must sign up and agree that after joining our training, you cannot sign out. That is the agreement. Why? Because the company uh, the training is costly, expensive usually, and not all of employee is good person, which means sometimes after we are having a training, some employees resign, uh, and that is so we lose our money. We have invest uh, a lot of money to increase our employees' ability, but then they resign. That is not good. That's why usually we create an agreement, a promise. You must promise me that you will not resign after joining this expensive training. Next is favorable. Favorable. Usually, uh, a good company having a very, I mean, having a, let's say, a schedule. They have a uh, schedule of training for their employees. The bigger the company, usually the training and development is better. And the last is to build the organizational climate. The usually if after a long time the organization is person to person become boring in their job, and the motivation is uh, going down, and etc. and problems. That is why we need training and also development to improve the organizational climate. Why we need training and development? Uh, Technological change necessitating acquisition of new knowledge, ability, and skill. In today's era, the technology is uh, change almost every day, right? Almost every day we are facing a new technology, usually commonly in IT, uh, in internet, in informational technology, increasing qualitative demand for manager and workmen. Okay, and the next is increasing uncertainties and complexities in the total environment. Okay, so for example, today's in 3 years we are facing the pandemic of COVID. That is a very big problem for the company. Need for both individual and organizations to grow at rapid pace. So not only the organization need the training and development, but also individuals. So the company get benefit, the individual or employee also get benefit. Next, to meet challenges posed by the global competition, especially if you work in a global company, to harness the human potential and give expression to their creative urges. Okay, sometimes yes, your employee have hidden potential, which usually can be uh, shown. It can be shown if there is any training or development. If you creating such a training which involving psycholog or a psychiater, they can open your employee potential, but usually it is costly, expensive. To enable employees to move from one job to another, usually in the office, we have also the rolling. We call it rolling position. Uh, to make the employees ready for that, we need training and development. To bridge the gap between what employees has in terms of knowledge and skill and what his or her job actually demands. Usually, especially for fresh graduate, what you learn in the campus is what you learn from the campus cannot be useful in your job sometimes. That is why you need training and development to bridge the gap. The objective of training and development. We have individual objective, organizational objective, functional objective, and also societal objective. For example, leadership training and development. That it has individual objective. Let's say outbound training. Usually it has societal objective to create a good bond between employees. The advantages of training and development. Better performance. And the next is to improve quality, less supervision, uh, less learning period. Less learning period. I must tell you this. Sometimes Islamic bank, the Islamic bank, they accept student from the student from not from Sharia background, and they choose to have student not from Sharia background, but they give them training, let's say for a month or 2 months about fikih muamalah, and then they are ready become employee of Sharia bank. That is the reality. That is the reality. So I don't know why they did that. As a Sharia uh, graduate, you face two competitors. The first, another Sharia graduate. Second, from another discipline, because bank is accept almost every discipline. If I'm not mistaken, bank accept almost every discipline. But number one, if you want to uh, become a bank employee, if I'm not mistaken, is good looking. The ability is number two. That is what I have heard. Okay. Next, high moral. High moral. Okay, and the next is favorable organizational climate. The disadvantages. Okay, number one, expensive. Just like what I've told you before, it is sometimes expensive. Usually, you if usually if the training held by not from internal company. Risk. Uh, the risk of just like what if I told you before, the risk that your employee will resign after they got the training. Uh, that is the risk. And the third, little acceptance. Sometimes your employee is lazy to join training in and development sometimes. And they will say that, I'm sorry, sir, we have a lot of job to do. We do not have time for training and development. That is, sometimes it happens. The strategizing training. We have assessment, objective and measures, design and delivery, and evaluation. The design and delivery, we have interference, transfer on the job training, of the job training or online training. That is the example. The link between training and performance management and compensation. The methods on the job training, mentoring, coaching, job rotation, understudy. Of the job training, lecture and conferences, festival, simulations. On the job training means you you are doing a job but also a training. Of the job means uh, you are not doing any job while you have a training. What is festival? I have I haven't read yet. Uh, I will find it later. Festival. On the job training, mentoring, coaching, job rotation, under study. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see. What is festival? Festival. Festival training is a term for near the job training as it offers access to something new. Okay. In festival training, the workers are trained in a prototype environment on specific job in a special part of the plan. Oh, I see, I see. So, it just looks like on the job, but in another place. Uh, Management games, case study, role playing in basket exercise, or known as in trade training, consists a set of business papers which may include email, SMS report, memos, and other. And the trainer is asked to prioritize the decision to be made immediately. Okay, so it will help you in a rapid time decision. Factor influencing training and development. We have top management support, technical advances, and learning style. What is a learning style? Learning style is everybody has uh, different way to study. For example, some of you to get information. That is why you got Spotify, you got you learn from speech, you learn from what is it? Uh, Podcast, for example. But some of you learn by watching, learn by reading. But another person must doing by himself to learn something. Reason to conduct management training inside the company. Training more specific to needs, lower cost, less time, consistent, and relevant material. Okay, thank you. But I must give you another presentation. Wait. Okay, let's see. Where is ah Can you see my slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Clearly.
thank you. Islamic training and development. I have just made this morning from my new book. Islamic continuous improvement. The Rasulullah said that today must be better than yesterday and tomorrow must be better than today. That is why we need to improve our ability because Rasulullah told us to do. The curriculum in training and development in Islamic human resource. Tauhid. We need to study the Tauhid. What is Tauhid? Tauhid is uh, making Allah the goal. Making Allah the goal. Making that the life is not only in the world. We have also hereafter. And so that is why we're not only trying to get what we can see, but also what we cannot see. Uh, let's say it heaven, iman, iman. We have uh, six, right? Six arkanul iman, six arkanul iman. Believe in God, believe in Allah, believe in the angels, believe in Al Quran, believe in prophets, believe in the last day of judgment, Al Qiyamah, and also believe in the faith, a good faith or a bad one. It is all come from Allah. Ma'rifatullah is understanding Allah. Ma'rifatur Rasul, understanding Rasulullah. And not also Muhammad, but also Ma'rifatul Islam, understanding Islam. Akhlakul karimah, learning a good attitude. Ukhuwah Islamiyah, learning about the Islamic brotherhood. Learning fikih muamalah, this is what we have studied, right? The Islamic law or Sharia law about transaction, about business. The first verse delivered to the prophet is Iqra, which means read. So that is why we must uh, still always again and again study and study. If even if you already graduate, even I'm a lecturer, I also study and study again. Uh, okay, another prophet ability, Nabiullah, the prophet Adam, God gives him asma'a kullaha, or wide knowledge. The prophet of Noah, God gave him the constructive skill so he can make uh, a big ship a long time ago. Yusuf, uh, Yusuf, God gave him the knowledge of agronomy. David, God gave him the metallurgy, the how to create an armor, body armor from the steel. Moses, the prophet Moses, God gives him physical strong, so he can punch man until he's dead only in one punch. Today's today's student usually knows it in from cartoon, right? Cartoon. I don't know what it calls. My son knows about the One Punch Man. Perhaps the creator is inspired by Moses, Prophet Moses. Sahih Muslim, uh, hadis number 2664. A strong believer is better and is more lovable to Allah than a weak believer. And there is good in everyone, but cherish that which gives you benefit in the hereafter, and seek help from Allah and do not lose heart. And if anything in the form of trouble comes to you, do not say, if I had not done that, it would have it would not have happened so and so. But say, Allah did what He had ordained to do, and your if opens the gate for the Satan. What it means? It means that God prefer strong Muslim than the weak one. That is why we must improve our knowledge, not also about the strength of the body, but also the strength of the mind, the capability of your mind, the intelligence also. Uh, and what is the last uh, about? So we cannot say that if only I don't go that away, will not have accident. It is not allowed by uh, this hadith. Why? Because everything is arranged by Allah. Everything is happen in and written already written in Lahul Mahfuz. Okay, Hasan. Three dimension to improve human resource quality. Personality, the dimension of personality, dimension of productivity, and dimension of creativity. Okay. According to Iqbal, to be insan kamil, we must become a person that law abiding. What is law abiding? It means you follow the rules. And next, having a self-control to harm yourself or harm somebody else or breaking the rules. And the last is define caliphate. What is define caliphate? Actually, in bahasa, it is written kekhalifahan ilahiyah. So you are learning leadership to be a khalifah, but uh, based on the words of Allah, based on the rule of Allah, based on Quran and Hadith. The method of training and development, we have distance learning, instructor-led classroom, and also adventure learning. Another method is presentation or audiovisual or hands-on. Hands-on method consists of on-the-job training, simulation, business game, case study, behavior remodeling. What is behavior remodeling? For example, the trainer asks you to, you can try to become a good person just like Mr. X, for example. So you have somebody to become your model. Interactive video and also e-learning. Example of Rasulullah gave on the job training. Khalid bin Walid, Ali bin Abi Talib, Zaid bin Harithah, as war commander. So Rasulullah gives them on the job training. Become the war commander. Another example is Abu Salama, Usman bin Affan, Ali bin Abi Talib become temporary official of Madinah city. Becomes in bahasa we call it PLT or pejabat sementara. While Rasulullah is not in the city. Okay, I think it's enough. That is the references. If you want to read more, Islamic Human Resource Management from Gramedia or from Bumi Aksara. Okay. Uh, okay. Looks like that is all from me. And to saving our quota, if you have any questions, you can ask in the WhatsApp group, right? Because using Google Meet or Zoom is need high quota. Okay, thank you for today. I hope you understand what I have told you. And if you have anything unclear, you can ask in the group. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima
Thank
kasih,
you,
Pak.
sir.
Yes.